Good morning, my name is Inês Simões, and today I'm going to talk about nonverbal communication. Often we aren't fully aware of how much nonverbal communication influences the way we are perceived by others and how we express ourselves. In fact, research shows how significant it is. For example, Albert Merbrian, a pioneer in the study of body language, found that in face to face communication, 55% of the way we express ourselves is done through body language, 38% is done by tone of voice, and only 7% is done by words. This is actually a myth, since his research only applied to situations where people's words and intentions weren't consistent, not to all communication in general. So, in this presentation, I'll explain what nonverbal communication is, the different types of nonverbal communication, the application in real world context, and I'll also provide some examples, and also a sentence to spark critical thinking. By the end, you'll have a clear understanding of how much your body, your face, and your tone communicate, even before you even say a word. So, what is nonverbal communication? Communication is more than just the words we use to talk to each other. It also includes our body language, our facial expressions, our gestures, and so much more. This is what we call nonverbal communication. To be a good communicator, you need to be aware of this and actually understand what your actions are saying. Sometimes people are going to believe your own actions over your words. For example, if I say I'm fine, but then my shoulders are slumped, my tone sounds flat, and my arms are crossed, well, people are most likely not going to believe what I said. Nonverbal communication can add to what we're saying, making our message clearer, but it can also completely change the meaning of our words. That's why nonverbal communication is so powerful. It doesn't just support our words, it often determines whether people believe us or not. So now I'm going to talk about the different types of nonverbal communication, starting with facial expressions. You probably already use this kind of nonverbal communication without even realizing it. Most of the time, we don't consciously think about controlling our facial expressions, but they play a huge role in how people understand us and how we express ourselves. Facial expressions are powerful because they can reveal emotion instantly: sadness, fear, confusion, happiness. For example, a smile can show warmth and friendliness, while a frown can signal discomfort or disagreement, even before you say a word. They're also universal. People across different cultures can usually identify the basic emotions just by looking at someone's face. That means that your face often speaks before your words do. So, if you want to be a good communicator, you need to be aware of your expressions. Are you making eye contact? Are you engaged in the conversation? Or are you showing signs of boredom without realizing it? All of these small signs can completely change how your message is received. So, talking a bit about gestures. Gestures are deliberate or unconscious movements of the arms, hands, or even the head. A lot of people use gestures as a backup for communication if they're having trouble communicating with someone. One of the interesting particularities about gestures is that they vary between different cultures. For example, emblematic gestures that have a specific meaning, like the peace sign or the thumbs up, expressions of emotion or pain in cues about personal space, can vary a lot between different cultures and are easily misinterpreted by people outside of a given culture. I'm going to show a snippet of the Guardians of the Galaxy movie to exemplify this.
That's when you. Why would I put my finger on his throat? What? Oh, no, it's a symbol. This is a symbol for you slicing his throat.
So in this video, we can see that the alien didn't know what the gesture that the other character was making, leading to a misinterpretation. Body language. Body language is a form of nonverbal communication that helps convey information through physical behaviors, like gestures, posture, eye contact, movements. It often communicates emotions, attitudes, and intentions more clearly than just words. So essentially, body language is how your body speaks for you. Being aware of it can improve your ability to understand and communicate with others. Application in real world context. Here is an example that shows how important nonverbal communication is, not just between people, but between people and technology. A 2025 study called Mind the Gesture explored how AI interpreted different kinds of gestures across different cultures. The researchers found that the models often defaulted to US and Western norms, often misreading gestures that are perfectly fine or harmless elsewhere. For instance, a gesture that is considered friendly in one culture might be flagged as offensive by AI, since it doesn't understand the cultural context. Such misinterpretations are very significant as our communication shifts to social media, images, online meetings, and virtual reality. So the takeaway is clear. Technology, much like people, need to understand these nonverbal cues, since without this awareness, communication can break down. In this global and digital world, understanding these cultural differences in nonverbal cues isn't just a nice to have, it's essential. Now I'm going to present an application of a real world context in a skit. This is a scenario one.
Hey Mariana, did you get the chance to look at the draft I sent?
Yeah, I saw it.
Great! Any thoughts?
Honestly, I like it. I think it's fine. I especially like the way you handled the summary section.
Uh, Fine? You mean acceptable? Or like you don't like it?
Oh no, I think it's good, really.
I'm going to put the second scenario.
Hey Mariana, did you get the chance to look at the draft I sent you?
Hey, Isabel, good morning. Yeah, I went through it this morning.
Oh, great! Any thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's really solid. I especially like the way you handled the summary section.
Oh, thanks. I was worried it might be too long.
No, it's really okay. Just some minor tweaks, and it's gonna be perfect.
Okay, thanks Mariana. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
When Mariana's camera was off, Isabel struggled to interpret the tone and intent of Mariana, showing how limited nonverbal cues can usually lead to misinterpretations. However, in the second scenario, we saw that with them both having their cameras on, their facial expressions, gestures, postures actually clarified the message, building trust and reducing uncertainty. So this demonstrates that even in virtual communication and in virtual settings, these nonverbal cues and signals are very important for clear and effective interactions and communication. So think about this. In a video call or when you are in a chat with an AI, how do your nonverbal cues like gesture, facial expressions, and posture come across? If your camera is off and your avatar doesn't move naturally, what message are you really sending? So, how can we make sure our body language still speaks clear in a digital world? So, the key takeaway is that being aware of your nonverbal communication skills, both online and in person, can dramatically improve how you connect with other people. It also avoids misunderstandings and helps convey your true intentions. Even in a world where technology plays a bigger role every day, our body language, gestures, eye contact, and tone of voice can speak volumes. Thank you for your attention.